How do I 28M break up with my GF 28F after moving away on purpose? Update 2. This will probably be my last update. Since we talked, my voicemail has been flooded by her. I'm now really worried about her. She will be coming tonight and will be staying with me. I'm probably going to be with her for some time now. I won't be responding to any messages because things have changed now and I need to look after her. I am grateful for all the comments. And #X200B. Update. My girlfriend just called me and I told her that our relationship was not what it once was and I don't think we are meant to be together. She completely lost her mind and began bawling. She kept on asking me why, so I finally caved and told her that she and Brad made me felt out of place, but I took responsibility for running away and told her it was my fault, not hers. After a lot of crying, she told me she didn't like Brad that way and was begging for me to come to my senses. At this point I felt pretty terrible. This is why I wanted to just text and told her I was sorry and tried to wish her a good life. She told me she was booking tickets to come over tomorrow and we could figure it out. I told her not to come, but she wouldn't listen. She just sent me a screenshot of the tickets as well. I'm now really stressed. I don't know what to do. And #X200B. My girlfriend and I have been together for 4 years, ever since she was in med school. We met through some friends and got along great. She's kind, beautiful and smart. However, there has been this guy who I'll call Brad. Brad and her met during her last year in medical school and they became really good friends. They had a certain chemistry and always got along well. In the beginning it wasn't an issue, but towards the end they were really close. It got me unnerved, but I figured they would be placed in different hospitals for residency and my problems would solve itself. But just as luck would have it, they got into the same hospital for the same program, so they were going to be working together. The hospital is a little far from where we stayed, about 45 minutes, so now I don't get to see her often. I really tried to find time to go and visit her, but between her insane hours, she would only get off at 10 p.m., and my own job I couldn't do it. At the same time those two were getting closer. At this point I'm pretty sure Brad had a thing for her because once when I came by his face turned pretty sour. Honestly, at this point I had begun to seriously worry about the relationship. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't want to come off as some petty insecure dude. I did mention she and Brad had become pretty close and she said she was very grateful to have him as a friend, and was hoping she would notice something was off about me, but neither happened. What really was the nail in the coffin was when her aunt, she was really close with, passed while I was on a business trip. When I offered to come she told me she would be fine and Brad was helping her. I am a data engineer and right after this call, I decided I was done. It was heartbreaking to play second fiddle and I applied for jobs elsewhere, and after 2 months I was offered a better job in California. When I told my girlfriend, she surprisingly got upset but wanted me to pursue my career. It's been nearly 6 months since and I've just been focusing on myself. I found an amazing barber and gym. I used the end of my relationship to fuel this rebuild and I'm pleased with the results. Surprisingly, after I moved to Cali, she and I have been talking a lot more, but I couldn't get over her and Brad, something I know is bad, and have been in therapy to improve myself. About a month ago, I posted a picture with one of my female co-workers, nothing inappropriate, posted a couple of pics with different people, and she became even more concerned. I'm not sure if she really was, but I realized it was wrong of me to keep her in the relationship. I thought I'd just not pick up her calls and slowly go NC with her. Well, a couple of hours ago she called me crying, called 10 times at midnight, which got me worried, and said I haven't been responding to her and was asking me what she did wrong, which honestly made me feel terrible. In the spurt of the moment, I said nothing happened, but I was busy with work. She didn't quite believe me and wants to come to California next week. I'm really not sure what to tell her now. I mean, after how she treated me as second place, why the sudden change of heart? From what I know, she and Brad are still good friends. I don't want her to come, and I think I need to end this relationship for my own sake. Do I just send her a text and block her? What do I do? Too long did not read. Girlfriend was clearly in love with another guy but is suddenly worrying about me. How do I break up with her? Why didn't you end the relationship when you decided you were done? You've been in California living a new life while simultaneously not breaking up with your girlfriend? I think you jumped to some conclusions about your girlfriend and Brad. Nothing you write makes me think she is in love with Brad. If he is truly a friend and you are her BF, of course she'd be upset by your behavior. It is possible to have male friends that are just friends. Sorry, not sorry. You're acting like an insecure man child. She literally didn't do anything. I can't believe you stayed on a business trip instead of just going to see her in her time of need. When she was grieving you wanted her to make you feel wanted. You should do her a favor and leave. If you break up over text, you are horrible. Be a man and make a phone call. Seriously. Like now. You are a selfish, non-communicative, coward. Hope she finds someone who actually loves and appreciates her. The fact that she is willing to fly to you to work this out with you says a lot about her. She clearly cares about you deeply, and you couldn't even break up with her to her face. God, you suck. Husband, 28 male, despise me, 27 female, for not having son. We are married for 8 years with 2 lovely kids 7F and 5F. I became a SOM a year after our second one was born. From the day our second one was born, every time anyone have a baby boy in our acquaintance he goes into depression for few days. Stop talking to 3 of us. But for past 1 year he shows extreme mood swings, fight over non-issue. Like yesterday he fought over carrots in his lunch, which he claimed were spoiled. When I tried them in the evening they were all good. But he kept on telling me I waste food and then went on to call me freeloader, because I don't earn now, and spendthrift, and ruined his life by ending his lineage. Thankfully my kids aren't smart enough to understand the last part. It went on for 45 minutes, all in front of our daughters, but his cribbing didn't stop and he followed me into the kitchen and kept on cribbing. I got so pissed and told him to shut up. Which he found disrespecting. He usually doesn't like me disagreeing with him. It was dinner time, so I prepared dinner, served the kids and kept it on table and went to bedroom and cried. He didn't eat, neither did I, and we are not talking. I know every man wants a son with whom he can do his boys things. But that doesn't mean life is over. It started with giving a silent treatment and then to screaming and shouting at me, blaming me. I think he hates me. Soon it'll affect my kids when he'll curse them. My kids are my priority and I don't want them to feel unwanted any point. How to make him understand his behavior is outright wrong. And it'll end up in breaking our family? Edit 1:1, we are Indian. 2. We both are highly educated and from science field, so pretty well knows about the chromosomes. Yet he blame it on pH value, acidic vaginal discharge. Edit 2. Thanks for overwhelming support. I am sorry if I am not able to answer your questions. As he have weekends off and he hates if I touch my phone. He often check my phone. My reason for not thinking about leaving is because when he's not depressed, he's a good father. Do everything to help our daughters to be strong individuals. My reason for mentioning our education is I had the notion that educated people believe in science. And when we are not his depression phase, he says, it's not your fault, it's on me, but later he blames me. I dunno who to believe. We did not have such discussion about kids before marrying. We were young and madly in love and thought that's enough to get married. It's over the time I understood he is a convenient feminist for his daughters, colleagues, cousins and every other women except the women married into his family. My mill has 2 sons, so is his uncles and brother. Also my sisters and brother each have a girl child, so he blame it on my family. I am avoiding divorce because I have hardly been around any single parents. When he's in good mood he's a very fun, good father. I don't want to snatch away that from my kids. Also I lost my brother few months ago due to a terminal illness. My parents are still recovering mentally, physically and financially. My mom was hospitalized last time I left him because of Mil's lies. I don't want to add up more stress to their life. About the boys thing, that's his words. My 7yo is quite athletic and intelligent. More close to her father. She would go cycling, playing tennis, swimming, playing games with him. But still when he see any man playing with a son, he would be like, see I could have done that if I had son. Why I don't speak to any friends. I have best friend and sister who I used to tell everything. I was a fun, outgoing extrovert. But after my second one was born, left job and we moved to US. I dunno what happened, I just became introvert. I hardly have heart-to-heart talk with anyone now. I would like to thank each and every Redditor who have commented. I am so grateful to stand with you even if we are strangers. I was really prosecuting myself for disappointing him, even though I know biology. Generally he'll show his resentment when kids aren't around. This time he said this lineage thing in front of the kids. My elder one ended up asking me, what at lineage? Do you dream of your daughters growing up with a father like this, and marrying a man like this? If it's more of a nightmare to you to imagine your daughters in your situation, you know what you have to do. My guess is that you're and/or married to an Indian. I could be wrong. We are both highly educated. Tears of joy. You definitely are. Him? Ph discharge. You married a misogynist. Get out, or you are teaching your daughters this type of behavior is acceptable. Sounds like you have 3 children. My 28M, XGF, 27F, from several years ago is trying to sabotage my new relationship. Title sums it up. I broke up with my, now ex-girlfriend over 3 years ago after 10 months of dating. She was unhappy with the lack of love I was giving her. I was honestly just sick of arguing all the time because of her atrocious victim complex. I didn't think it was worth trying to save, but we agreed to go on a break for a bit, and eventually things broke off and it was done. Being completely transparent, she did try reaching out several times during the break, and I kind of just pushed her away because it wasn't worth fighting for. Neither of us really acknowledged that we were done until we saw each other on Tinder months later. She was absolutely livid that I would do that to her, while not acknowledging that she was doing the same thing, hence the victim complex. I realized the right thing would have been to just end it outright instead doing the break thing. I was honestly just trying to be nice by saying, "It's not you, it's me," instead of saying, "You're an insufferable person to deal with and you take zero accountability for your actions." Another year goes by, she has a new boyfriend. I decided to move across the country and start a new life, so I send a text and say, "Hey, I'm sorry for how I acted. I know it wasn't cool of me to end things how I did. I'm moving across the country next week and I wish you the best, it just felt like the right thing to do." We ended up chatting a bit and catching up. Fast forward to now, 3 years post-breakup. I have a new life thousands of miles away. New girlfriend whom I live with, and we've been together about 1.5 years. Well, my ex decides to start chatting up my current girlfriend via fake Instagram account, telling her about how I'm such a terrible person I am. How I'm just going to ghost her someday like I did to my ex. And obviously my girlfriend shows me these messages. That's how I know, and I give her the same explanation I gave above, about how she has a victim complex, and I think she's just extremely bitter about the fact that I broke up with her. My girlfriend obviously takes my side, tries to be nice and replies, "Hey, I'm sorry things didn't work out, but things have been going great between us, so everything is okay." My ex then proceeds to get pissed that her homewrecker plans have failed, and she starts harassing my girlfriend about really childish shit like, "You're getting my sloppy seconds," and, "He loved me first." I now realize she has been stalking my social media all these years, waiting to see who pops into my life. So I block her on everything and send her a text saying, "Hey, I am not exactly sure why you're doing this, but please stay out of my life and stop trying to be a homewrecker." She completely denies it as if it isn't 100% obvious and says, "Wow, that sounds rough, but good luck finding the person responsible." Now I am an extremely easygoing person and I don't ever get angry, but this infuriated me. Still, I didn't do anything to retaliate since me and my girlfriend both blocked her on everything, so I was expecting it would just go away. A few months go by and she finds new ways to harass my GF. So now I'm actually livid because my girlfriend is very sensitive and it's actually starting to bother her. I am really debating whether or not to retaliate at this point, because I would love to tell her boyfriend about how she has been stalking her ex for all these years just to hear his reaction. I really don't want to stoop down to her level. But it does not feel right that she can continue doing this without any consequences. How can I get past this? Ensure that she's blocked everywhere you can. Might even change cell phone numbers. She's feeding off of the responses, just ghost her for real. Edited to add. That sounds like a very stressful situation and I feel for you. Good luck. Consider this. How miserable must she be to spend the last few years obsessing over you and whatever you do? While you were building a new life, she stayed stuck in the same spot. You don't need to do any retaliation, because how could she possibly be even more miserable than that? Do what you need to do to stay safe. Ghosting her will probably drive her pretty insane anyway. She may find ways to find your social media accounts, but only to find that you're still happy with your new partner and really don't give a fuck. Have a lawyer send her a cease and desist letter. Don't respond to any of her attempts to contact either of you. No response is a response. Make all your socials private as well as blocking your girlfriend too. When is "your money is my money" disrespectful versus standard relationship behavior? 28M, 34F. I will have to give some context to this situation. Myself, 28M. Partner, 34F. We have been together 4 years, both normal incomes. I am self-employed artist and she works as a manager at a store. A few years into this relationship she came into approximately $200,000 through a court case. After putting $25,000 each into house deposit and $7,000 each into a car, she has burned through all of the savings, and is $9,000 in credit card debt. I want to make clear that all of the remaining $200,000 got spent on frivolous things and just random spending. Fast forward to current day, if we go anywhere at all, I have to pay. Be it food, alcohol, her petrol, her registration, often sending money for lunch and petrol at random times. For the last 4 months I have paid our very expensive home loan on my own, was set up to be 50-50. Despite her earning $70,000 a year, and my last financial year being literally $11,000, this year being a bit better, I am covering literally every cost. She knows I get sad when she makes big purchases, and her common response seems to be, "Well, your money is my money, and my money is your money." But the invisible elephant in the room is the fact that when she did have money, I never once touched it. Now that she has spent everything, it's like it's become this communal attitude towards our finances. I feel that this attitude is basically a way for her to be very financially irresponsible and not have any regard for the fact I am self-employed and stressing myself out trying to make money for both of us, despite her making more than me. I struggle with communication and really want to get these thoughts across without appearing as a money-pinching, selfish person. I'll be honest, it's hard to see a future with someone who is currently working full-time and still cannot provide equally. Imagine when if she leaves work to have children etc. We will hit zero very quick. How do I talk about this in a healthy way? It's making me feel used, not appreciated, and a bit of a wallet on legs. How the hell can you spend $200,000 and be left with over $10,000 debt so fast? I have a question. What does the each mean in your post, $25,000 each, and $7,000 each? Jesus Christ, how do people put up with bullshit like this? Stop trying and leave. Unfortunately you allow this and she will not change or care, because if she really wanted she will have proposed to contribute. And believe me, as a woman she know exactly what she is doing. Married for 10 years. Joint account is for bills. Beyond that, his money is his money and my money is my money. She is taking advantage of you.